Hi, fifth graders. Welcome back. It is Mrs. Casilio, your virtual teacher, and I am excited. Today we are on lesson 26. Let's continue our great work. So here are our guiding questions. How do natural disasters affect the people and places that experience them, and how can we prepare for natural disaster? All right, so the materials you will need are our text, Everyday Mysteries, Can It Rain Frogs, Fish, and Other Objects? You will need lesson 26, just like shown here, and the lesson 26 note catcher, a sharpened pencil, and an awesome attitude to do some amazing work. So go ahead and press pause and come on back when you're ready. Okay, now that you have your materials, let's go ahead and look at our learning target together. It says, I can determine the meaning of general and domain-specific words and phrases as they pertain to the text. So hopefully this learning target is looking very familiar, but let's kind of unpack it and look at this together. So again, it says, I can determine. So I can find the meaning of general. General means just that, general vocabulary words that are in our text that might not pertain to natural disasters or what we're learning about, but they may just be vocabulary words that we're not familiar. And then also domain. Domain means like that specific topic. So for us, it's the mystery of if it's raining frogs and fish, okay? And then also phrases. Phrases are just 2 or 3 words put together. It's not quite a sentence. And then we're figuring out what they mean and how they directly impact the text. Okay, so what I want you to do today, yesterday I read this text with you. Today I want you to grab somebody that is home with you, and I want you to read Everyday Mysteries, Can It Rain Frogs, Fish, and Other Objects? Take your very best shot at it, take your time, do your best work, read this article, and then when you're done and ready, come on back. All right, so you had a chance to read your text. Now let's think about it. It says there's some challenging vocabulary in this article. To determine the main idea and supporting details, it's important to understand the text. Remember that close readers use strategies to figure out the meaning of words they don't know. So let's think about some of those strategies that you have worked on this year. So the context, you might read the sentences around the word and be able to figure out what that word means. You might look at the affixes for clues. So here's an example. It says, example, disapprove. Well, we know dis means not. So disapprove means not approve or to not approve, okay? So another strategy is you can look at the root word for clues. Again, disapprove. And this time, if you're not sure what the affix, the prefix there means, dis, you can look and be like, oh, well, I know approve means to accept, okay? And dis must be the opposite of that. Or you can also use a dictionary, which is a great tool, or a thesaurus, okay? So think about the 2 challenge words that you noticed from the text. What might their definitions be? Think of some synonyms for your words. Remember that synonyms are words that mean the same thing. So let's stop because there's a lot of information there. So it says, think about the 2 challenges. That's a typo. So it just means think about the 2 challenge words. So you need to pick out 2 challenge words from the text. What might their definitions be? Maybe vortex for you is really hard. So use the text to figure out what vortex might be. Think of synonyms for your words. So a synonym is a word that means the same or about the same. Okay? All right, there's a lot of thinking to do. You can leave this exact slide up so you can refer back to it, but grab your text and let's do some work with words. Pause this, and when you're done, come on back. All right, super fifth graders, you had a chance to think about it. So now I want you to talk about what are the definitions of words you picked out, what are some synonyms of the words you picked out, and what strategy did you use to figure out the meaning of your words? So for example, if vortex was one of my words, did I look it up in the dictionary? Did I read around the word? Was there a picture that helped me? Could I look at any word parts to help figure out the definition of vortex? Okay. Press pause and have an amazing discussion. All right, now that you've had time to talk about this, let's take a look at our note catcher together. This slide says, using the Lesson 26 note catcher, research your 2 words and record a definition in your own words. Some synonyms, what strategy you use to determine the definition, and a quick sketch. This is going to be fun. So let's look closely at the note catcher together. Again, you see that it says Lesson 26 note catcher. The directions, it says just that. For each word, record the definition in your own words, some synonyms, what strategy you use to determine the definition, and a quick sketch. When we look there, it says word number 1. You're simply going to write your word next to it. So again, if vortex is your word, that's where you would write it. Definition in your own words. This is where you would write your word and the definition in your own words. Synonyms in the next box next to it. The strategy. How did you figure out what this word means? Did you use the dictionary? And then a sketch. So what does that word look like in a picture? Then you're going to do the same work with word 2. Go ahead and press pause and do your very best work. All right, you guys are doing awesome. So in closing, I want you to take that note catcher and I want you to share it. Share your writing with someone, a sibling, a parent, a friend, a neighbor, and tell why you chose to write and draw what you wrote. And after you've completed your assignment, remember to read a book, enjoy it for 20+ minutes. And then lastly, our fluency practice, ask an adult to read this text to you and you follow along as they're reading. Then you are going to practice the text at least 2 times on your own, okay? So 1, have an adult read the text to you as you follow along. And then after hearing that good example, you practice reading it at least 2 times. All right, have an amazing day and I will see you guys for lesson 27. Bye.